Welcome to another episode of I'm Gonna Be Honest with co-host Johnny Garza and me, Eric Conchola. About to give you another deep dive on life, just about our lives.
All 20 years of it.
Yeah, so a lot of experience in those 20 years.
Yeah, man. Again, always grateful for these moments. It's an opportunity to learn about you learn about me, and kind of just I don't know.
Shit talk.
Learn from each other, man.
Exactly.
I think that our lives are very similar, but also very different.
In many ways.
Yeah, I mean, we'll talk about anything from, I don't know, your education, your thoughts on education, what you're trying to do right now. I don't know, life experiences. I mean, you almost died a couple times, probably.
2 or 3.
I haven't even told you about a couple times I almost died, but that's for another topic. But another thing is how you ended up here. That's a big topic for me because I get a chance to actually be a part of your life where I felt like I missed out when you were growing up. I was around you, when you were adopted. We adopted you at 10 months old.
Yeah.
And I still remember that day. It's kind of crazy.
How old were you?
I think I was 16 at the time.
16?
Yeah, I'm 15 years older than you. So yeah.
Yeah.
About 16 years old. And mom had mentioned, she was considering adopting you, and it was a long ass process. It took a while. It took like 6 months. You were in the foster care for a while, and all I can think about, I mean, I was in it. I get another brother. What the hell? That sounds dope, without having to deal with mom and being pregnant.
For real.
Yeah.
Just magically sent to your doorstep.
Yeah, but at being 15 and then also mom being a single mother, I felt I didn't really know what was going to happen with this whole scenario.
Yeah, because it was another mouth to feed and a whole nother child.
Yeah, and I'm over here having to change diapers and shit. It's kind of weird, but...
Yeah, I didn't ask you to, right?
I've seen it all. Oh, man, it's disgusting.
I was a little kid.
Yeah, but I just remember that first day you came, and, a foster parent ended up flying you over here, and I think finally when we got you, and on the drive home, mom had asked me, will you sit in the back to make sure he doesn't cry too much? And I'm over here like, what am I supposed to do? I don't know how to handle this thing. But I remember looking at you and realizing that I had a lot of responsibility to take on, and all I wanted you to do is to succeed. Come to find out, your success is not my success. That's what you told me one time, and that's what I've had to learn to grow into. The way you learn things, the way you're processing life is completely different than I have processed life and the things that I've gone through. But that doesn't mean I can't teach you where I've made my mistakes.
Of course.
And that's why we're doing this, because I get to share my experiences, and you get to share your experiences and thought process and what you're thinking. I'm going to push you, and you're going to push me to, I don't know,
learn your emotions better. Learn how to handle different situations better. So patience,
for sure. Patience is like the biggest thing. And I want to tell you how to do everything right, but I realize that is not everybody's the same.
Yeah.
So your success is truly not my success. But I do want to see you learn new things, try new things. Some of the things that I've tried, I really want to get you snowboarding. And
I really want to snowboard. Next week looks really fun.
Yeah, we were just kicking the soccer ball around the other day, and I feel like I'm already better than him, but that's your passion. That's not my passion.
Yeah. You think so?
So I'll kill you in some basketball all the time. Let's talk about your big move. So this all started quite some time ago, but we finally, I had this vision a while ago, because we had long talks. We have long talks on the phone, and I realized early on that you were in touch with your emotions more than I was. And I'm over here trying to tell you what's right, what's wrong, and how to take the next step. And the way I handle shit is completely different than the way you see it. So you taught me a different perspective, or you're teaching me a different perspective on how to handle these things. So, I mean, how did you end up here? Now you're living with me, man. I'm super stoked on it. A lot to learn, a lot to teach, but I'm stoked on it. So tell me, what was the moment you knew you needed to change? Could,
So it was actually probably it was August of 2023, and I was going through a really rough time. I just quit my job. I didn't want to live at my mom's anymore, so I packed up my bags and moved in with my buddy Greg in St. Louis, in this little town called Pocahontas, Illinois.
you're making this up.
No, seriously, look it up.
Damn.
Yeah, it's a small town.
Like
And
how small?
probably like max 30, 40 people live there.
That is that even a town?
It's like a village.
You guys have a mayor?
Nah. We just have we have a Dollar General.
Is there a John Smith there?
Who's that?
Pocahontas, bro. Oh my gosh.
Alright.
Dad joke.
But, yeah,
We don't
for
do
real.
it. Oh my gosh.
But anyways, so I moved there. I started working at this place called the Fanning Goat, and then also worked at this place called the Thunderbirds. One was like a bar and grill, and the other was like a diner in the mornings. So I ended up working there for a while. And like 3 or 4 days in, the lady, her name was Ashley Drymeyer, and Ryan, they both owned the Fanning Goat. And whenever I moved in there, or whenever I went over there, 3 or 4 days in, they knew I was staying at the hotel, and they were like, "Why don't you just come live with us?" And at first I was kind of hesitant because they were random people, I didn't know
It's
them.
kind of weird, bro.
Yeah, it definitely was. So I ended up doing it, and it was a really, really big opportunity for me. I got to work on a farm. I got to work around animals. I got to learn a lot of different things and cook a lot of different meals like for people. So it was definitely a huge different experience like than what I experienced growing up. I never got to experience any of that farming stuff. So like kind of getting introduced to it was actually kind of fun. Um, he was like a race car driver and stuff, so it was kind of cool. He had a bunch of trophies on the wall and everything. They were really big Trump supporters. They had a lot of guns, so it was kind of cool. But about a month in that, you called me and we had a long talk. Like it was probably like October 1st. No, it would have been October 14th. Whenever you called me and you told me, you were like, "Hey, I kind of want you to move out here. I feel like you have a little bit more opportunity out here, and you can actually do the things you want out here." I kind of realized whenever you said your success is not my success, I realized that you want to do different things in life than what I want to do. And then, you have different goals than what I had at your age. So I have a few ideas. We could start a podcast. You could start your detailing business. I could help you out with that. We could take care of your job and schooling here, even though I don't really want to go to school. I don't mind it.
Hey, I'm proud of you.
I know. But no, once you kind of mentioned, because you kind of kept talking about it, you're like, "I really want you to come out here." You even kind of mentioned it, like, a few months before that, like, because you were telling me, you're like, "I kind of want to start a podcast, and I want you to be in it." And the first time you told me that, I really started thinking, because, like, we were talking about this for months, like, probably since, July? We started talking about it?
Well, honestly, this is not the first time he's moved in. He actually moved in after he had another episode, but
Oh, no, that was not an episode, bro. That was
you got died, dude.
Yeah, that was
You were
definitely.
hanging out with the wrong people. You needed to change. That was it kind of fell apart, and it was kind of ugly. He stopped talking to me, all these other things. But I'm glad you came that first time to just get some exposure, living with me for a little bit. And it was during pandemic, so it was a little awkward. You didn't have any social you weren't able to be social with any friends. I mean, people were acting weird around then.
Yeah.
So I feel like looking back at that moment, I understand that it wasn't the right time. You were younger, you were 16, you still had a lot of self-growth and realization that you had to come through. So
I really wanted to graduate high school with my friends, too. Like, I felt like this is the one thing that I wanted to do. Even whenever, before I left, I knew that I was going to come back. Like, I knew in my mind that I was not going to be able to stay here. now looking at it, I'm not gonna go back.
Yeah.
Like I'll go back and visit like for 2 or 3 days, but I cannot live there.
Yeah, and so that time when you came over, we had briefly talked about it. I mean, we were having good deep talks, and I was like, why don't we just throw this on in front of a camera? Because I think that we can relate, or somebody can relate to our story and how we're starting to open up a little bit more. You're actually like my therapist, I guess.
Pretty much.
And I'm pretty much yours. But that's when my vision came to me, and I was. When I'm in something, I'll go heavy in it. I bought all this equipment, and I was excited to get started, and all of a sudden it fell apart. And then I realized that you're still young. I can't take that dream of you graduating with your friends, and I took a step back, and that was around the time that you said your success is not my success, and that's where I had to come to grips with how I deliver my message and how I need to listen more. I guess. And so I started to, just evaluate our conversations that we always had. And so I had this vision, man. I had this vision for a while.
I kind of remember whenever that argument started now. It was because you were telling me, like, I just kind of, like, quit my job. And I was being honest with you. I was like, dude, I ain't got a job right now. I'm not going to school. And, like, I mean, I'm kind of still trying to figure out my plan. And you were like, why don't you go to school, get a degree, and like kind of not a regular 9 to 5, but try to figure something out. And I told you I felt like there was a success outside of school. I felt like I could do something. I just had to sit down and apply myself. And at the same time, I wasn't really in the right area to do it or the right mindset. Now I have all this equipment and I have everything I really need to like do anything I want. Like, there's nothing that holds me back besides myself.
Yeah, and I remember that conversation pretty deep because you had... my thought process was, just go to school, you take a class, take another class, get exposure, meet friends, something will catch. And my idea is just continue to search in new things. If you don't like it, that's fine. Keep on moving on. And I'm trying to push you, but also it wasn't the right time. You're going through something heavy, and I'm over here trying to push you, and I'm pushing you away. Essentially, that's what was happening.
Yeah.
And this is via phone call, so there's not this connection and eye to eye kind of thing. It's over the phone, so you're not understanding how much compassion I have for this subject of just wanting you to find you. Like, you're not gonna. At 16, you're not gonna figure out what you want to do for the rest of your life. I'm over here trying to just like expose yourself to different things, and you're over here like this. I don't want to.
I still want to be. Right now. Still want to be a kid.
Yeah. So that's that was a deep talk, and then you hung up on me. But but I get it. I mean, look at what's spawned right now. Now we're starting this podcast, which I'm super grateful for. But these are big moments in your life that can really transcend you to something different and something new. I want to go back to the moment you moved out of mom's house just a few months ago, 5 months ago. Like, what you just felt like so much was going on that you just needed an escape, that you needed to get away. But now you're living in a hotel. That's tough, man. That's dark. That sounds dark to me. And you felt like that was the only escape for you at that moment. And so I'm grateful for these parents that brought you in. I mean, it could have turned out as a completely different scenario.
Yeah.
But again, you're not talking to me at that moment. So I'm over here. You got to understand that being a brother,
I didn't have a phone though.
Yeah. I didn't know that either.
Yeah.
Remember?
Yeah.
And so you got to understand that I just want to know that you're okay. Whether it be my parents, my family, my friends, I just want to know you're going to be okay. And when I don't get that back, I don't know if you understand how I was feeling in that moment. I mean, I realize I can't push you in a certain direction or whatever. I can just, try to guide you.
Yeah.
But what matters most to me is to know that you're safe, and I didn't know you were safe.
Yeah.
So that's when I finally got on the phone call with you. I was like, yo, this is an open invitation. I'm not here to push you, but this is your opportunity. And I mean, these parents that brought you in, they sounded like they provided you with the skill set, which is awesome, amazing, and really exposed you to something different. But what I've come to understand is like family is really all you got and that you can rely on. And I just wanted you to be close and get you on your feet, and then you can figure it out from there. So I'm glad you made it over. I'm glad you came back. You know,
I was about not to, bruh. I
oh,
was
for
about to
sure.
stay. Like, I really wanted to stay because I had a good job. Everything was going well. I was about to, like, start playing school, like, or start playing soccer in school there. So it was about to all work out, but no, it's all working out here. I'm in school, soccer. I'm about to have 2 jobs.
Yeah, man. And the thing is, like, I just don't want you to ever feel alone. And I guess we can talk about it. I didn't want to bring it up, but I feel like I feel like my siblings, my younger brothers, you guys have all wanted to make it on your own, and I respect that. But why?
But you did it.
But yeah, it doesn't. But that doesn't matter. Like if you have help, like the reason I was able to make it in my eyes is that I utilize my resources. If somebody says, "Hey, I can help you," as much as I want to try to do it on my own, I still accepted it or I listened. And for some reason, I always feel like you guys have really just really tried to do it on your own. And I'm over here like trying to guide you, like, hey, I'll help you out with school for the first like semester. And you kind of just like push it away.
Well, here's the thing. You have to understand, yes, we all grew up the same, but did we really? Like you were favored as a child, like that, not meaning anything by that, like, and that's okay, like you really were, because like you set such a good example on, like, you were just trying to set a good example for mom and us. But I know you went through the same thing. I know mom was still yelling at you for the same bullshit she yelled at us for. So like it kind of is the same, but it isn't, because you also got to think about the father figure situation and where that comes into play. Like, for me, you know who told me I was adopted? Wayne did. And I remember the day he did, I was in 3rd grade, and he told me to my face, like, he's like, I don't remember how this conversation started, but all I remember is him telling me. And ever since that day, like, I asked mom, the first time I asked her, she was like, I'm going to tell you whenever you get a little bit older. And I was just like, all right. But I already knew, so, like, I didn't know why she wanted to wait. And then probably whenever I was in about 5th grade, she told me, like, your real parents are Adam and Alicia, like, so, and she, like, broke it down to me, like, basically my whole family line. So that also comes into play, too, like, our emotions and everything, where we get our traits from, that also plays in where, like, what's going to come from your parents. You have to also understand that. So, like, I feel like our emotions were definitely different because of that as well. Because, like, you got to look at, I was kind of raised by, like, mom and then Trace's dad a little bit. Like, he showed me a lot of cool things. That's where I kind of probably got into cars, because I was obsessed with motorcycles and everything like that at a young age, riding and everything. But, he also showed us a lot of very good habits, and he also has apologized for this, but, he would get angry and break stuff, and, like, that's kind of where me and Trace picked it up as well.
Yeah.
Joey kind of used the same thing. I don't know where he picked it up from, but, like, same thing goes with that. Like, he grew up in a different scenario, and he remembers it because he had a different view on it. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So, like, not saying everything's a lie, not saying everything's truthful. Just he had a different view on what was going on in his life. Same with us. Same with Trace.
Yeah, but I'm still trying to, and I'm still trying to understand, and I think it's mom. Mom's been self-independent her whole life.
Exactly,
Single
that
mother,
too.
doing it on her own, trying to act like the father figure, but the mother figure. So she's not the dad, and trying to be the dad takes away from the motherly instincts. So I felt like she wasn't able to give us as much love as a mother would truly do, because she was trying to play the father role and try to discipline, but then that role wasn't solidified. So I think that growing up, I'll be honest, we took advantage of that.
Yeah.
And I think you guys for sure took advantage of that.
Oh, yeah.
And that's tough on mom. And so I didn't realize that until later on. And I also see the fact that, you think that I set a good example, and I respect that. I'm proud of that. but at the same time, there was always this comparison I think that mom had for us
Yeah.
and you guys. Oh, the way I raised Johnny was perfectly fine. I'm gonna raise you guys the same exact way. And me and mom had to talk about that, and I told her, hey, you can't expect these kids to come out like I came out. That's just not smart. It's not right.
It's
Honestly.
not healthy either.
And I love my mom, and she's learned a lot. She's grown a lot. Like,
Yeah, she does.
and so,
Because you've
shout out
seen,
to my mom. Love you.
yeah, because you've had to see more of the stuff that she had to go through than I have. Because you've been with her since you were like what 18 years old, or since she was 18 years old.
Yeah, she was 17 when she had me. So watching her grow, and you gotta understand, and that's the perspective that I get to see later on in life, because now I get to look back and I'm like, damn, 17. If I had a kid, I don't know.
Yeah, you don't know.
What would you do? How do you change a diaper and all this stuff? Like, even.
And it takes away from a lot, like your personal time of what you want to do with your life. So it was really hard for mom to go to school, especially having 2 kids and everything, because she could have been like any other parent, or not any other parent, but any other bad parent, not taking care of your child, or giving us up for adoption, doing stuff like that. I'm not ready, but she chose to have us and be here in our lives, so I do respect that.
Yeah, and I think that, so a lot of her intensity as far as trying to do everything on her own really rubbed off on us. So we had this like mentality of shit, take care of business, handle it on our own, don't ask for help. It'll get taken care of, we'll manage, we'll figure it out. Like that, I think that's mentality was embedded in us, but at the same time there's also failure in that.
Mm-hmm.
When you're not willing to accept help or listen to others. And that's all I wanted to kind of guide you guys on growing up. But obviously I need to work on a few things, and now at this point where we get to speak about it, this is what I've wanted from the get-go. But I know it takes maturity, and I can't push that on you guys.
I've gotten a lot more mature over the past 4 years.
Just from the time you came the first time to now, I've seen a drastic change, and I think a lot of it comes from the environment that you put yourself into. Mm-hmm. Sometimes you can't change the environment, but you can change. You gotta have that mental stability, and I think that you found it. You got to constantly work on that. Is there anything that you have to say, like else you have to say about trying to do it on your own?
Excuse me. I think because I was so invested into like wanting to do everything on my own, like wanting to figure out my plan, wanting to figure out my place in life. That's why I would kind of avoid you guys. Like, I would never like talk to you guys, because I felt like I always wanted to tell you guys, hey, I'm doing good, I'm doing okay. Like, even though I knew, like, you guys knew some of the times, like, I know this man is either lying to me or he's not telling me the full truth. Because, like, you know what I mean? There's just times, like, I just wanted to tell you what you wanted to hear, because I didn't want, like, to have that, do you need help, or, I'm here to talk to you. But I just, like, because sometimes I just felt like I needed to do it by myself. And I've kind of learned that's not really the thing to do, because it honestly takes up a lot of your mental, like what it does to you, like effectively, because you're just holding things in. The more you hold things in, it turns into sadness. What does sadness turn into?
Anger.
Exactly. Anger, whenever you hold your anger in, you take it on close people, the people you love, because, you think they're going to forgive you, and, they're just going to not take it anymore, or not, just take it and go on with their day. But really, words affect people. Like, what you say and what you do to them will always affect to them and stay with them, because you cannot take words back. And even if you could say after, I didn't mean it and I'm sorry, that's still going to stick in their head.
Yeah. No, man, it's a growing process, mm-hmm. and everybody goes through it, and you're going to have moments of weakness. There's no doubt about it.
Yeah, of course.
But yeah, I think just, it's not, I feel like people have this idea that asking for help is a moment of weakness, but really this is why we're here speaking to each other, because therapy's expensive as hell.
Yeah.
I'm cheap as fuck. But it is expensive.
Yeah.
But you need to be able to express what you're feeling, express what you're thinking about, because if you can't get that off your chest, it just
builds up and
builds up.
stays there.
And then you explode for no damn reason.
Mm-hmm.
And then a couple days later you realize, damn, I was out of line for sure.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's why I love having this podcast, is because I get to express some things that are on my mind.
Mm-hmm.
And I've been pretty like resilient when it comes to things, not letting things bottle up, but we all have our moments of weakness.
Of course.
So, I'm glad that I finally have somebody to talk to. I have some friends, but that's just, phone calls here and there.
Exactly.
Grabbing a beer here and there.
It's nice whenever you can just sit down with someone for a few hours and let out what you have on your mind that you haven't been able to get out.
And not to mention somebody that knows your childhood.
Mm-hmm.
So I actually talked to Jimmy, from my high school friend, a lot, because we had this connection because we grew up together. He knows my mom, he knows you guys. So I'm able to talk to him about some things that most people, newer friends, don't really know about. So
yeah.
Who else do you have to connect to?
Kish, obviously.
Oh, yeah, your best friend.
Exactly. Lives right across the street from me.
You guys known each other since like 2 years old.
Exactly. That was kind of like my escape, was going over there and just chilling out and hanging out with all of them.
Yeah, and let's go back to okay. So now you're living with this couple, and we had some talks, and I opened up the idea that, hey, if you want to move out here, I would love to have you. And so what was the moment that you knew, like, I need to do this?
Whenever you kind of like, it was a 50-50 decision, because half of me was wanting to stay there, and then half of me was like, what really made me put faith in you was whenever it was about the money situation, and I kind of realized, I was like, I didn't put faith in him the first time. I really need to do it this time and show him that I want to change and that I want to better my life. So I decided to come here. I really put my foot down, and we made a date, and we were like, okay, I'm going to come out this date no matter what. Got my phone stolen. Crackhead Chris.
Yeah, I did.
Shout out.
You know what? And I was talking to Ashley, and she was worrying. Like, hey, have you heard from him? I'm like, no. She's like, why aren't you worried? I'm like, honestly, when he's here, I will believe he's going to be here. It's up to him to make the decision, and I'm glad you got on that plane with your laptop. I don't know how.
I made it, bro.
But these are big changes, big moments in your life, and these are life-altering moments that I feel like if you don't do, like, when it comes to a situation like this, think about it as if you're on your deathbed, and you're looking back at life, and you're trying to figure out, like, would you regret that decision if you were about to die? Would you regret taking that chance, or buying that car, or buying an airplane, or some shit like that? So you end up in moments where you're just like, I need a change. I need something different. And it sounds like that's kind of where you're at. I don't know if you just flipped a coin and hope, I don't know. But yeah, I've had big moments of changes. When I moved from Illinois back to Southern California, that wasn't easy. The only reason I stayed in Illinois when I was 17, 18 is because you guys were still there, or somewhat within the vicinity, 2 hours. So I felt like that was my responsibility to be there for you guys. But after, I didn't get to see you that much because you guys were...
Did you stay at the house, or...?
No, I had my own place.
Okay.
So I moved out when I was 17.
What did Mom do with the house while we were at the shop? Because I was little, so obviously I didn't...
She rented it out for like a year, and I think they destroyed it. But...
that happens every time.
I know, renters. But yeah, so I was making some drives out there. I was there for when Trace was born. But there was a moment where I was in a relationship with my high school sweetheart, and it was just like off and on relationship. I was in a nursing school, like I was in nursing school when I was 17, and I just wasn't focusing and wasn't like fully engaged in it. And I just decided, I need to change. I need something different. I need to get out of this small town. I got big dreams. I got big aspirations, and they're just not here. Scary. I took a one-way flight with 2 bags in my hand and a cashier's check for $7,000, and I didn't look back. I didn't. I moved in with Uncle Mike. Super grateful for that. He gave me a room. I rented a room out from him for many years. But
How much was your rent there?
Hey, don't worry about it.
But you like
At the time, no, it was like $300.
Oh, that ain't. It
Yeah,
ain't too bad.
But that was the change I needed, and I ended up getting 2 jobs. Worked my tail off. From there, I was working 70 hours a week and I didn't have any friends, so I just worked for the whole year and saved up. I think by the age of 19, I had $30,000 saved up,
Damn.
and bought a house, bought a little cabin in Big Bear, and finally got accepted into nursing school at Loma Linda. And it's like the scary moments in life. You just got to take that step. You got to take that next leap because you never know what else is on the other side. So that was one big change for me. Then I went to nursing school, saving up, got into anesthesia school, and then the move out to Central California. I applied to 11 different places, everywhere from Iowa to Texas to Arizona. I went on all these. Even went to Nashville because this is like recruiting. They're paying for all these trips, so I'm like taking advantage of it. But I came to this location and I loved the facility. I loved the people that were there, and I said, "This is what I got to do." And I didn't know anybody. I'm telling you, I knew nobody. But I needed to do it for myself because I was still trying to figure out who I was, what I wanted to do, what I wanted to see myself doing in the future. And sometimes it's best to do it alone, to start over fresh, start over new, because you can how do I express this? You can be whoever you want to be by starting over new. So now you got a fresh set of, I don't know, fresh pair of shoes, dude. Now you can go out and like you said, reputation is important. So now you can restart, build your reputation. You're working hard. You already got invited on the soccer team. Like, these are big things, man. And I'm excited for you because it just, if you're positive, you have gratitude, it just steamrolls. And there's more to it. So, I think the big changes are important in life and scary at times, but I'm glad I did it at the moments that I did. Since then, I've lived here almost 5 years, which is crazy to me, but bought another house and created it to a home. Glad you're here. It's really making it feel like a home now. And I think that these changes are necessary.
It's starting to feel like home here because I got to be here 24/7.
Yeah.
I'm just kidding.
Yeah. You got a girlfriend. But what else? Where do you see yourself in 5 years? Let's say.
If you really want me to be honest, I can't tell you. I can tell you my idea. My idea would be that I'm still in school. I have my own business. I have a different job as a mechanic. We're still doing the podcast.
Yeah.
Just different changes. I'm definitely not going to be the same size.
Oh, no. You better not be. Like, missing 4 days in a row. I don't know.
No. I didn't miss today. Today wasn't missed. I did stuff. So
Okay.
It counts. What else? I don't really know. I know I'll have more than one car in 5 years because I'm going to go nuts.
Well, I will say this. I do want you to dream big. And if I could teach you anything, is that dream big because you never know if it's going to happen.
But one thing that's been sticking in my head is the quote you said the other day. There's visionaries, and what was the other word? Visionaries and the people that do it.
Executors.
Executors.
Yeah.
And I want to be an executor. Like, the more that I think about it, like, if I can be able to get this shit done, then I'll be an executor. Because I'll be able to be both. Because I'll envision it and then execute it.
Yeah, and I think we're talking about that. That's actually a good topic. I think a lot of people see themselves as just an executor or somebody that's analytical that gets shit done. And then there's other people that are visionaries. They can create, they can build these big ideas, and essentially like dreamers.
Mm-hmm.
And I think we have both of those qualities in us. It's just how do you hone in on it?
Mm-hmm.
And you're, I will say, you're very distracted. But that's your whole generation, dude.
Yeah.
And there's so much distraction. You got social media, you got fancy cars, you got people flaunting money.
At, my age. So it's different because, like, how the hell is there going to be a 19-year-old drop shipping, $2 million condo, $4 million cars, and I'm sitting here in California living paycheck to paycheck right now, and
What the hell is drop shipping?
drop shipping is like, so you basically take a product online. You either make it or you buy one, and then you sell it.
Okay.
And then you create your own company, and then once you do that, you just...
So it's somebody else's product.
Yes.
And you just market it as your
Yeah.
own. Oh, okay. It's like an Amazon thing or something.
Yeah,
Like oh,
pretty much.
Okay. I see. There's hustle in everything.
Exactly.
So yeah, I mean, you can hone in on it. Like I think it's just becoming aware that you're better at one quality or another, and just trying to figure out how to execute on that. Like okay, like little goals become bigger goals. So I mean, I could see you do it. It's just finding no Fortnite and shit like that.
What do you mean no Fortnite,
I mean,
bro?
alright,
What do you
2
mean?
hours, 2
There's
hours a
like
week,
there's
man.
there's pro athletes that play Fortnite and all
Okay.
types of games, bro. Don't judge me on my game time,
I
bro.
will tell you, you got no
Leave
steam.
me
You got no
alone.
steam, bro. You got no steam.
You don't even know what a Steam is, bro.
I think you said it the other
A
day.
steam engine.
Yeah, yeah. But I will want to. I'm not trying to kill dreams. I'm not gonna kill aspirations. But like, I think we get distracted by so much. I think that if you want to do a detailing business, you want to do school, you want to do work, you want to do all these things, I would try to focus on like 2 or 3 of them at a time. Because yeah, you got a lot going on. You got to balance all this stuff too. And sometimes the balance is the hardest part. You just get pushed and pulled all these different directions, and you can't give 100% on things.
Yeah.
And there's also this thing that I like to talk about, like the 5 pillars of life. What is it? You got family, you got health, you got community, relationships, and faith.
Mm-hmm.
And if you put those 5 pillars up there, it's really hard. It's not
Balance.
possible. It's not possible to give 100% on each.
Mm-hmm.
And for example, like when I was going into nursing school and anesthesia school, I knew education was one of the things, and I had to focus 100% on that.
And your health.
In my health, because that's important to balance each other, mental health and everything like that. So that did take away from family. That did take away from community and faith. But if I can keep those at like 60 compared to the 100, if everything evens out, so around 80%, you're doing okay. And there's going to be moments where you have to sacrifice a little bit here and there.
Yeah.
And what I've learned is, like family, they will understand. Friends will understand. I think we talked about this the other day. They'll understand if you're going through something and trying to make yourself better.
Mm-hmm.
If you are doing things that's not making you better, then that's going to be a different scenario.
Of course.
But like your friends, like you said, if they see you doing well, they see you making yourself better, next time you talk to them, it's going to be like you didn't miss a beat.
Exactly.
And that's good friends. That's good family. That's what we do to push each other. So it's the balance of life. Mm-hmm. And it's cool that you're getting involved with so much stuff, and I'm always going to push you to do more, because I see the potential. It's a gift and a curse when I see potential in people, because I do push them past a point sometimes, and that's something I have to learn. And that's you're teaching me how to be aware when I'm pushing too hard. Anything that I pushed lately?
Not really, to be honest. And you can tell that I'm a lot more, like, mentally I'm a lot more happier. Just like by the way I've been waking up and everything.
Yeah.
Like, even if I do sleep in, I'm still not like sluggish or anything. Like,
yeah.
I feel awake and I feel like ready for my day.
Well, I think you do beat yourself. So if you miss the gym in the morning, you beat yourself up, but you move on. Okay, I'm gonna go do some wall sits. I'm gonna go do some squats in the garage. Like, I respect that, because, hey, shit happens. You miss something. You just make up for it somewhere else. So I see that. Proud of that. But yeah, so I want you to be able to help guide me and direct me on how to push you to be better. For example, our younger brother, he's probably going through a tough time. He was the same. You were the same age when you started going through some rough time. I think it's just adolescence and being a teenager and going through all these different changes in life.
Of course.
I don't know. You probably still waiting to hit puberty, but
yeah, whatever.
But there's a lot going on, so I need you to help me understand those feelings and emotions, because that was like 15 years ago. I don't remember how I truly felt in those moments, and I just kind of like grinded through. And I feel like my generation, we didn't really talk about the emotions. We didn't talk about the feelings that we were having. So I think that you would have a better connection with Trace, and I hope that he comes around and starts talking to you. I hope to have him here soon, and so he can jump on a podcast. He'll be shy as hell, but
yeah, it will.
But I really want to know what he's going through, because it sounds so similar to what you were going through, and it's every action that he's doing is exactly what you did. You're a product of your environment, man.
Yeah, I know. I taught him some bad traits.
Yeah,
we were closer in age, so like he wanted to do everything I did.
Yeah,
and he's doing it.
And he's doing it, the good, the bad, the ugly, man. So where do you think I should be better about? How should I go about it? Like, all I do is I text message him. I try to give him a call every week or so.
Well, to be honest, there's not much more you can do until he reaches out, because that's whenever he's gonna be, ready to talk and everything like that. You're trying to do everything you can. Like, you're trying to get a hold of him and text him, and if he's not replying, what else can you possibly do?
Well, that's what makes it tough to be in this position, and you're probably gonna deal with it too. Is he texting you back?
No, he's not texting me back.
So we gotta brainstorm, because we're not the only ones that feel this way and deal with this stuff. There's other parents out there. There's other brothers. There's other siblings that are dealing with this type of behavior, and for me, I feel kind of helpless. I know that once he comes out here and he's able to like hang out and kick it with us, like he'll see what we're trying to do and how we're trying to be a part of his life. But at this moment, he's going through some things.
Yeah.
As we did. And I feel like sometimes all you can do is just continue to reach out. And this could be with friendships. This is going to be with parents and stuff like that. But if there's anything that you have that we can do better, or I can do better, I would gladly like to hear. And I don't know. I mean, trying to get him out of here.
Yeah.
So
I want him to come out here too.
Yeah. But he's a smart kid.
He really is.
Yeah, I mean, he's probably he's smart. He gets good grades. He has a job that he's sticking with. Yeah, but I can only do so much, and that's why it's good. It's cool to talk to you and to try to get like, hey, was I pushing you too hard younger, or was I? And I'm different now. I feel like I've learned a lot.
Yeah.
I'm trying to talk to Joey, trying to talk to you, and now trying to talk to Trace. It's a little bit different. But yeah, it's hard. It really is, because you feel like, you feel kind of handcuffed in the situation. Like, shit, what can I do now?
Yeah, because there's not really much you can do about it. Like, you just gotta try to find a way to like have him open up to you. So
yeah, that's a tough one. But I get, like you said, he's gonna have to reach out. I'm hoping he does. I think hopefully spring break comes around, we can get him out here. But on top of that, I think that family is super important, and what I've realized is that I didn't really have many people to rely on, but at least I know that I had you guys' love. Mm-hmm. So that was my safety, that was my comfort. But family can also take advantage of you too.
Yeah, they can.
Because I think that it's tough with family. Family will always be there, but on the mental side of things,
you don't know what they're always thinking in the back of their head.
Yeah, and not to mention, I think that family knows that they're always going to be there. So whatever you say, whatever you do, you can always come back. You can't get rid of us.
Yeah.
Good, bad, ugly. So that's been another tough part. Like we've been in our like fights or whatever. We had a lot of disagreements, but I felt like you always knew I was going to answer the phone. And it's true. Like, damn it. I don't want to answer this guy's phone, but I have to.
Yeah.
That's what, even when you call me off random ass numbers.
Yeah. You wanted to answer them.
I actually thought you were my friend. But, but it was weird. It did say Pocahontas, Illinois. That shit was like, what?
Yeah.
But what else do you want to talk about? Big moves, changes. I don't know. What else is on your mind?
Let's see. I'm trying to think. Whenever I got into the car accident, that was
Nah, we ain't talking about that right now.
Yeah, that'll be a different episode.
Yeah. Actually, I do want to talk about something because you mentioned earlier that you were scared of storms.
Oh.
Do you remember that one time you were little? You were like just like this tall. We had a crazy storm and you used to get really scared and you were in your bedroom and I was in the living room and you screaming, crying. I think there's lightning hit or something like that, thunder whatever, and lightning, thunder, and you ran and I was just laughing. I was laughing my ass off. I was like, oh, this kid's scared. Couldn't find out the next morning, a tree. Remember the tree fell right by your door. Like right by the room. Really? On the ground. You don't remember that? Mm-mm. That tree was massive. Now I know. You don't remember that? Mm-mm. The tree, the big ass tree right there.
I probably as a kid. I mean, in the moment, probably did, but no, I don't remember it. Yeah. I remember seeing it's still there. That tree's still there.
Yeah, it sliced in half.
Yeah.
So imagine that half of that tree. It missed the car and went right in front of the house.
Damn. It
was nuts. Yeah, so I kind of felt bad because I was laughing at you.
Imagine if I would have got crushed by the tree.
No. Let's see. What else can we talk about? Oh, so big changes come. I think it's just creating a vision. I think when changes happen, you make this big move. Did you think about what can come from it?
Yeah, obviously. That's one of the big things I had to think about. Like, what was I going to get out of this? And not meaning that in a greedy way. I mean, what am I going to get out of this? Mentally, physically, learning ability-wise. What... For me, I came in and I was like, okay, if he wants me to go to school, I'm going to go to school. I'll follow his rules. I'll do what he asks of me. Because... in return, I'm going to get a lot of learning, because you teach me hella shit, a lot more than what I really used to know. My my academic skills, they're kind of getting a little bit better.
Yeah, slowly.
Health-wise, I knew that you were going to push me to go to the gym, because I knew that was one of the things you were trying to do before I left the first time, but obviously I wasn't healthy enough to do that. So now that I'm able to do it and push myself to the max and not have to worry about any health problems, I can actually work out. And financially, because that's one of my biggest struggles. I know that's for another episode, but financially is one of the hardest things I struggle with. So
yeah, but I think you're doing good. Mm-hmm. And this is. It's kind of cool. We talk back and forth all the time, but it's cool to do this in front of camera. If this doesn't end up like anything, no one listens to us, at least you have something to go back on and talk about this. So the big financial one, we're going to have to break that up to 2 episodes because I got the basics, finances 101, and then what I did, and then what you can do to be better than I am. Mm-hmm. Big dreams. When I said... I told my friends that I was going to have $1 million net worth at 30. Did I get there? No. Am I there now? Who knows? So you make big dreams and it will it happens if you just give it time and you just take the steps to do something different. And if a situation is not working in your favor, you evaluate first. are you doing everything that you possibly can to make yourself better?
Mm-hmm.
If you say yes, then you need to change your environment or change your situation. That's life, and I've learned a lot, and it's cool to be able to finally express all these things, because everybody asks me like, how did you do this? How did you do that? I don't know. I just did it. But now that I get to think about it, and now that I get to share it, it's really allowing me to like dive deep into, damn, how did I do that? How did I save up $7,000 when I was 19? How did I save up 30 when I was 20? Or 7,000 when I was 18. 30,000 when I was 19.
Damn, how did I spend $38,000 in
I don't know, man. But
8 months?
Now you're getting me to think how I did it, what my mindset was, and I'll share more and more as we progress on these topics. But I think when you want something, the universe conspires to make it happen.
Mm-hmm.
The only thing that holds you back is
yourself.
Like, I feel like people are like, oh, I can't do that because of this. I can't do that. Nah.
Yeah.
People aren't out there to attack you. We don't make that much money. The government's not after us. Like, I mean, middle America, kind of different story, but
yeah.
But you just have to understand that people, and for example, the couple that brought you into their home, they were only trying to do good for you.
Yeah.
And that's what I'm trying to share as well. Like, the more you can give, it doesn't have to be financially. The more advice you can give or scenarios and situations, what's the point of living without giving?
Yeah.
And if I can give you everything that I've learned, I've done my part in this world.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like it's like the legacy. What do you want your legacy to be?
Mm-hmm.
And some people will be like, oh, I don't know, I'm gonna do mission work for whatever. That's incredible.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, when you end up 6 feet under, what did you do for others? What did you offer? Did you give them advice?
What did you leave behind?
What did you leave behind? Are you going to be forgotten, or are there people going to still be talking about you? And that's what I hope I instill in other people. That's why I love to go on trips with other people. So I hope you have, and I hope I'm able to share some things with you. You learn some things, and then you can share them with your friends, and then more and more and more.
Yeah.
That's what life is about. I mean, what's the point of holding all the secrets to life? I don't have all the secrets, but
yeah, most of them.
Yeah. For now. But we're learning more and more about each other, and I think that. I mean, have you talked to your friends about some of the things we talked about?
Yeah.
Okay.
Like the financial, and they still want to definitely talk to you about the like the two that are going to nursing school, Mitchell and Brogan.
Yeah.
They still want to talk to you about the whole nursing thing too. So.
Yeah, absolutely, and I'm hoping to have some of your friends on this podcast to kind of so they can tell me all the deep dark secrets you have.
No, they better not, bro.
Yeah, but
I'll be pissed.
But I think we had a lot to talk about today. Really, just big changes, big moves. Always being positive, and change is good. Change is hard.
Change is hard.
But there's always something good that you can find from it. So, man, I think this is a good episode. This is I'm Gonna Be Honest podcast. So you know what to do. Like, subscribe.
Hit that follow button, of course.
All right, follow us. Thank you very much, and we'll see you next time.
Peace.